Alright, welcome back to the channel. I am Lady Nika and with a list chat, if you will, okay? Now, most of y'all that even watch TV, follow the blogs, be on social media, all that shit, you heard about yesterday's murder of 20-year-old rapper. I think they pronounced that boy's name XXXtentacion or XXXtentacion. I don't know how you pronounce that young man's name, but yesterday, as he was leaving a motorcycle shop, his car was approached by two black males, and he was subsequently shot and killed. And they're saying that a Louis Vuitton bag with some money in it was taken during this robbery slash murder. First of all, I would like to say rest in peace to that young man. Rest in peace to him, and my condolences out to his family, friends, and legion of fans out there. I first learned about this on social media, and I felt a ways because I felt like it was very disrespectful to him as an individual, as well as for his fans, his family, for people to be gawking at the crime scene where his body was still in the vehicle. Now, many people were like, well, he was comatose at that time. I'm more inclined to believe that boy was dead when they went after that shot. The way he looked in that car, he did not look like he was alive at all. And it was disturbing to me to see that. It's always disheartening when we find out someone, young like that, life is taken away from them. But I know that it's life. And sometimes when you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Now, some people probably going to have a problem with this video because I'm about to be really honest. But if you appreciate my content and you know me, you know this how I get down. I speak the truth even when it's painful. A lot of people talked about how this young man had began to go in a positive direction. I seen on Instagram, him talking about, I saw it when he was buying a bunch of games and toys for the children, and he wanted to give back to the community. It's like he kind of changed a little bit in the months leading up to his death, and that's a beautiful thing. We want you to see the light. I found it somewhat eerie that an hour before he passed away, he did a live stating that if he was to die, the only thing, or become a sacrifice, in his words, he just hoped by his death someone's life is enriched and they learn from it. And an hour later, God gave him that very wish. Because I'm sure somebody's life changed today. And if you don't think that it did, go down in the comments of some of these blog posts where different celebrities who have faced possible similar situations are saying it ain't cool. I even seen that boy, what his name, Tekashi 69, say he trolled a lot, but this really kind of shook him up because he realized too that this could be you. Now, I've seen this before. I've been around for a little minute. I was here when they took out Biggie, and I was here when they took out Tupac. Again, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword, okay? And although this young man saw the error of his ways, we cannot forget that he did things. And just like with anybody else, when you do things in this life, sometime you have to pay the piper. Now, I'm not saying this is his justice. I'm just saying that in life, you have to pay for what it is that you do. We all know that this boy has not always been on the straight and narrow. He done had several fights with different people. He's been all over the damn place. He was currently facing some very serious charges involving an assault to an ex-girlfriend that is pregnant or was pregnant for him. witness tampering, amongst other things that he really was under the fire behind and was still going to court and possibly could go to jail. I even read a story that when he was jailed last time that he jumped on an inmate because he thought the guy was looking at him the wrong way, kind of like saying, you may want me to be your honey in here and I ain't with that shit, so I'm finna get you all the way together. And he assaulted that person. So I think there were charges pending against that. What I'm saying to y'all here on this video is this. Sometimes you try to correct what you've done in the past, but some things you do in life is so bad that you have to pay for them in ways that we the people who love you on this earth may not feel that it's fair, but it's fair in the eyes of God. This man has rained terror upon people's lives before. Do I think that he deserved to die the way he did? Nobody deserves to just necessarily die. But again, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Let this be a wake-up call to all of these young entertainers that's getting out here making this money. First of all, you don't need to let the world know where you at all times. I saw video footage of him being in that motorcycle shops minutes before he was killed. I heard that one of the employees at the motorcycle shop had even Snapchat that he was in there. The world don't need to know what you're doing all the time, because I tell y'all this all the time. Not everyone on the front row is a fan. And you don't know what people got against you. Just because you done made peace with life and maybe made peace with God and trying to turn, all of your negatives into a positive, don't mean that you'll be granted the opportunity to complete that. Some people in life, they carry a grudge. They girl got family members. I don't know who did it. But I'm saying that it's a lot of people who may have wanted to see this young man 6 feet under, and they got their wish today. I think that it's respectful to remember him for the goodness that he tried to reign upon this earth in his final times here, his final months. But at the same time, you still have to remember what this boy has done in his life from a teenager up to now. He's only 20 years old. And 20 is a very young age to die. But babies die every day. And sometimes it's not a natural death. We hear stories all the time about kids being left in cars, kids being abused, kids being victims of random violence, innocent bystanders. We hear all of that. So you just got to live in this world and do the best you can to be as right as you possibly can. You're not going to get through this life without pissing somebody off, but the degree to which you piss a person off, you can control. Okay? I don't know what possessed these people to kill this boy today. But I felt sad because I felt he was disrespected on camera, by people taking pictures. I didn't see very many people trying to offer any medical assistance to him. I just saw people willing to pull their cameras out and record somebody in their final moments. And I found that to be very disheartening, because social media has desensitized us so much so that if just as many people were saying it was wrong, I saw just as many people saying that, oh, well, it's news, they reported. That was just difficult. And then, as I went into my evening yesterday, I found out that another rapper had passed away. Somebody named Jimmy Wapo out of Pennsylvania. He was killed too to gun violence. young people, I don't know what it's going to take to wake you guys up. You out here, if you in this music business or whatever it is you doing, and you making this good money, first and foremost, you are not a regular person anymore when you start to make that kind of money. And why would you get on camera showing people that you have all this money? People want to, don't you know it's people hurting out here? It's people hurting out here, and there are people out here hurting so bad they'll feel like you don't deserve it, and they'll try to pinpoint your location and try to do something to you. Much like what happened to this boy here today. Now, they say robbery was the motive. I don't know if I believe that all the way. Because again, you got to remember, this was not no saint. None of us are saints, but he damn sure wasn't no saint. And although my heart bleeds for his family, and for the loss of life today, there is always a warning before destruction, and God had been giving this boy several warnings for quite some time. And even he knew. If you go back and look at some of the stuff he said, just even the video that he did a couple of hours or an hour before his life was taken, he knew eventually he was going to have to pay for some of the stuff he did in his life. I thank God that he did obviously get some type of clarity, and he was able to understand that the life he was leading was not the most productive life. It was not the healthiest of lifestyles, and he made an attempt to change it. However, again, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Not everybody is granted another chance to do better. Some people, by the time they realize that, hey, the road I'm leading to is going to lead me to one or two places, the jail, the penitentiary system, or the cemetery, it's too late. The decision has already been made for you. I just want this to serve as a lesson to the younger generations, be it in the music industry or people who listen to this and they believe the hype of these men and how they were living their life. Him and that Tekashi 6ix9ine person, you know, y'all got followings. You may not ask to be a role model, but sometimes you get thrust into positions that you do not want to be in, but you have to stand up to that role or get out the life. I say it all the time, and I'm just on YouTube. I don't like drama and unnecessary foolishness. Because when we were blessed to get on YouTube and actually begin to build our platforms, whether we got a couple thousands or, you know, a few thousand, or we got 100,000s, you are influencing someone's life in some kind of way. Just because they don't put it down in that panic section don't mean that you're not having a certain amount of influence on a person. And I take that very seriously. That's why I try to, although I'm not giving you a false sense of who I am, I try to remain positive. And that's how I really live my life. Yes, I go through my ups and downs. I go through my ups and downs with my illness. I go through my ups and downs with them eggs. I go through my ups and downs with people that I interact with in my reality every day. I go through it, you know. But I try to remain positive as I possibly can, because the more positive energy you let in, the more negative energy goes out. And you don't project that into the world. I don't want to get on this camera and every time y'all see me I'm complaining. Hell no, sometimes y'all have no idea. I'll be barely sitting up doing these videos, but I don't complain about it. I see stuff people say about me. I see stuff that people say about me in my reality every day. I cannot be faded by that, because see, I'm on my assignment. And I encourage each and every person within the sound of my voice is to find your assignment in life and live up to it. Your assignment is not being a menace to society. I know people come from different circumstances and backgrounds, but if you live every day you wake up is an opportunity to make that circumstance and situation better. It's not fun to walk around here worried about is somebody going to take your life and always being on the lookout. As big as that boy had become, he should have never been anywhere in public without some type of protection, because although he changed his life and it appears he was trying to be a more positive person, you still got to remember what you've done in the past. And sometimes that past got a way of coming back to haunt you. I feel really, really fucked up for his family. I know they wanted better for him. I feel bad that he was not able to do the things, because I understand he was supposed to be doing some type of charity event this weekend with his mother. Now, that may not even happen because she's in grief. She's grieving now. She lost her baby. And the natural order of things is that our children bury us. We don't ever want to bury our children. But there's a woman somewhere in this world tonight that's got to make funeral arrangements for her son. And it don't matter that the whole world or half the world or however many fans he got out here in this world loved him. At the end of the day, she loved him more. And God loved him best because he brought him home. You got to be careful of how you live your life. Because what may seem like something is so easy for you to get out of may not be so easy to get out of. You know what I'm saying? You can't live reckless in this life and decide that you want to do right and don't think that there could possibly be some consequences to the actions of your past. The past always got old nasty way of coming back to haunt you. Even when you have tried to make peace with it and left it alone. If you ain't made peace in the right way, or you done went too far, you may actually be trying to make peace, but hey, God accepts us all, but that don't mean we not gotta pay for what we do. Just because you ask for forgiveness and receive it does not mean that you're exempt from having to pay for the actual crime or sin. And this boy had quite a few of them. He hurt people. Somebody decided to hurt him back today. I don't know much about the Jimmy Wapo guy. I'll have to look him up and come back and talk about that. But I do know about this boy, this XXXtentacion boy, because I've seen him in the blog so much. I've watched lovely T videos about him and everything. It's just, I feel sad. But at the same time, I understand that the circle of life. I understand that. And like I said, sometime by the time you realize the error of your ways, it's too late. I do think that he was aware that he wasn't going to live long. That's why he was saying some of the things he was saying, and he was trying to do some of the things he was doing. I wish he could have lived longer to be able to maybe right some of his wrongs. But again, if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. Rest in peace to the young man, both of them. Hopefully, this will be a lesson learned for a lot of young people who follow his music and wanted to be exactly like him. If you're not trying to be at the positive side of him, then you might want to reevaluate how you thinking, because just like his life was taken, that can be you too. And for you young people that's making money out here, you ain't got to tell the world. You know what? What's understood needs no explanation. You need to learn how to be blessed in silence. I do it all the time. Y'all know what the fuck I got going on in my life. And that's on purpose because, see, even though I'm very, very small, I'm still a public figure and I want some form of my privacy. So I show what I want to show. And that's what some of these rappers and entertainers, these young folks making this money. You don't have to get on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, flossing what you got. Just live it. Just live it and receive your blessings in silence, honey. You will never know if I had that kind of money. None of y'all would ever know it. Because I wouldn't get on TV, I wouldn't get on camera and be flossing about that. I know how to be blessed in silence. For real. In the world like we living in today with so many hurting people, it would pay to be blessed in silence. You don't have to show the world what you got, because there's people out here who feel like you don't deserve it, and then there's people out here who just hurting themselves and they need, and they don't know what to do. And the only thing some of them know to do is to try to get what you got. I just feel really bad for this young man's life to be ending at 20, but we've seen it happen to even younger than that. And let this be a lesson to you young folks out here today. Let this be a lesson. That fast money, fast life, gang banging bullshit, it only leads to two places. It either gonna lead you to a lifetime of penitentiary stays, or it's gonna lead to somebody dressing you and some slow singing and flower bringing on a Saturday. That's all it's gonna bring. Gangsters don't last forever. This boy did a lot of things, you know. He did a whole lot of things. He said a lot of ugly things, a lot of hurtful things. He said and did a whole lot. And, you know, even though, like I said, in his final months, he tried to be more positive people, look how long he was reckless out here. And he was only 20 years old. So he was terrorizing in his teens. Well, now he can tell Tupac face to face that he think he a better rapper than him. And I know somebody gonna be in your fields, but see, sometimes the truth don't come in a pretty box. Sometimes I can't dress the truth up. Sometimes I ain't got to have no coof, because I want somebody to be bothered enough not to go out here and live their life like this boy. Let his life and his death be an example to you. I'm not even getting into this Illuminati conspiracy theory shit, because we ain't talking about. I look. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. The boy did a lot. He did a lot. And no, I didn't want to see him end up dead, sitting up in a BMW for the world to be able to take pictures of him in his final moments. No, I did not want that. But that is the reality of what happened today. And this is what social media is today. Social media is a blessing and a curse. Social media has desensitized us as human beings, because it was a lot of people okay with pulling out a camera instead of somebody trying to offer some medical assistance to him or get somebody there faster. You know, all they want to do is take pictures and shit. So disrespectful. Pictures probably hit the internet before his parents even knew he was deceased. That's awful. It says a lot about you as an individual if you have become so desensitized that you lost your human compassion. Death is private, and it should have been respected as such. But we live in a society that want to Snapchat it, go live and video every damn thing in their life. Even in your death, people is still taking pictures of you. How awful. I received the pictures. I'd be damned if I was going to put that on my damn social media anywhere. And it damn sure wasn't coming up on my YouTube channel. I said we'll talk about it later, and here we is. We talking about it right now. I'm tired. If we ain't worried about, we got to worry about the police killing our black men, and then we got to worry about our black men killing each other. What a damn world. Somebody please wake up. Because it's XXXtentacion or whatever his damn name is. Rest in peace to him. And you know what I'm saying? It's him today. It could be you tomorrow if you out here living reckless. Be careful of how you live your life. And understand that ain't no fast money. That gang life ain't gonna get you nowhere. Selling dope ain't gonna get you nowhere. Go positive. Figure it out. It's a way around it. It's plenty of people who have made it that didn't make the decisions that these young men who are being killed today is making. It's other ways out. Stop being so damn ignorant and feeding into the negative stereotypes that we as black people face every day. Stop doing it to yourself. And like I said, I did not want this young man's life to end, but God saw fit to do something different. And people say God don't exist because he let bad things happen. God give us free will. So you can't blame him for that. Good and bad things are going to happen in this life. He's not going to stop everything. But what he do is he give you the promise to be there for you in your time of need. And for some of y'all, you don't believe in that. And that's fine. You ain't got to. But this is my channel. That's what I believe. That's what I'm going to rock. Because what I'm not going to do, if by so happenstance, this is all real that we've been taught as kids growing up, and I got to stand before judgment, I'm not going to deny him because it wasn't the popular thing to do. And I was worried about my subscription list. Because when I stand before judgment, I don't want to be denied because I was so ignorant and such of a people pleaser. I didn't give the praise and glory up to the person who allowed me to still be here 15 years into lupus, 3 heart attacks, and a TA. And I'm 45. I've been in them streets. I did some of this stuff this boy's done. But by his grace and mercy, I'm still here. And I want to see each and every one of you young folks that watch me pass this on. If you older and you got some young folks, let them listen to me and understand that there is a life out there and it's a beautiful one. But if you live fast, you won't live long. This rapper XXXtentacion what? How do you pronounce this boy? Somebody break it down to me. Is it XXX? Is it XXXtentacion or is it XXXtentacion? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I've never known how to pronounce his name. And there's no disrespect to him. I just simply never knew. I know my son listened to some of his music sometime, but I didn't know this guy. And rest in peace to both him and the guy, Jimmy Wapo. Condolences out to their friends, their families, and their legions of fans. And let their lives be a message in their death, okay? Learn from this. And like I said, if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. And now this boy can go tell Tupac himself that he think he a better rapper than him. That's it. That's all. I'm out. Peace.